This is the true story of Lisa Holm, a loving and intelligent 17-year-old girl, a young woman that was spreading her wings and entering the bigger world, but then she vanished seemingly into thin air, but with no enemies and in a safe location. Where could Lisa have gone? Music. We find me another viewer discretion is advised for this educational documentary. Welcome back to Dark Case Documentaries. I bring you true crime, disturbing stories, and other things you may later regret knowing. With regular uploads every week. Please do join the quickly growing, incredibly supportive Dark Case family by hitting subscribe now and turning on notifications. Remember, choosing to be kind can save a life in many ways. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me. Our love and respect goes out to all those that knew and love Lisa and all those affected by this case. I just want to preface this video by apologizing for my pronunciations of some Swedish words and places. I have tried my hardest to get these words right, but I am definitely not a native Swedish speaker, so here we go. Lisa Holm was born on the 7th of February, 1998. She grew up in the small picturesque town of Skövde, Sweden with her family. Lisa was a kind and caring person who loved animals, listening to music, and spending time with her friends. Lisa's mother, Lena Holm, described her daughter as an amazing girl with a heart of gold. She was always there for her friends and family, and she had so many plans for the future. And that she had just graduated from high school and had taken on a new job at a café in Blomberg. This was just a 45-minute drive from her hometown. Blomberg is a small village in a rural area east of Gothenburg. It was just a stopgap, a summer job, before she went on to study social sciences as a present for graduating. And to get her to a new job, her father had bought her a moped to give her some independence. The world was opening up to 17-year-old Lisa. I remember being his age, and it really is the most exciting time you'll ever have. For 2 weeks, Lisa and her father had traveled back and forth for her shifts at the cafe. Her dad traveled with her to let her gain some confidence on the scooter. She was new to the moped, and it wasn't the quickest journey, but now she was ready. On the 24th of May, 2015, a video was uploaded to YouTube by the user Lisa Holm. The video was a simple countdown timer. The countdown started at 1 minute and 1 second. The video is only 11 or 12 seconds in duration. The video ended when the countdown hit 50 seconds. The video was titled 13. What you're seeing on screen now is that actual video. On Sunday, the 7th of June, 2015, Lisa sets off for work alone for the first time. Lisa was on the closing shift. She made it there with time to spare. A successful journey. Her shift went on as was to be expected. She laughed with customers. She chatted with her colleagues. But generally speaking, the day was uneventful. Lisa and her colleagues began to close up. It's around 6 p.m. and by 6:23 p.m. she texted her dad to say she was leaving the cafe and would be home soon. A successful first day as an independent young woman. Shortly after this, she phoned her dad, but it seemed to be an accident, a pocket dial. He could hear the cheerful murmuring of voices from her co-workers. This was positive, it was happy, there was nothing untoward. But unbeknownst to Lisa's father, this would be the last time he would ever hear her voice. The journey from the cafe to Lisa's home should have taken around 40 to 45 minutes, but by 7:30 p.m. she still wasn't home. Her parents tried to call her, but he repeatedly went straight to voicemail. They became increasingly anxious, so her father drove along the route that she was taking. He checked every roadside ditch, scared that she'd had an accident. However, there was no sign of her at all. When he arrived at the cafe and saw the moped outside, he had a moment of immense relief, but this moment was short-lived. As he got closer, he saw the keys in the ignition. The relief was cruelly snatched away and replaced with a creeping dread. Lisa was wise. She would not just leave the keys in the scooter and walk away. After searching the cafe and the surrounding area to no avail, Lisa's father called the police, who launched a preliminary investigation. When the police arrived at the cafe, they searched the area for any sign of the missing girl. Anyone who knew Lisa knew they were looking at a case of abduction and not a runaway. With the help of a police dog, they searched the surrounding areas. This included a conspicuous barn that sat across from the cafe, but nothing. They knocked on doors asking local residents for any information that could help. The search continued overnight leading into Monday the 8th of June, but it was all fruitless. In the morning, they released a statement to say that the teenage girl was missing. They chose not to reveal Lisa's name, holding the information close to their chest, but they felt this gave enough information away to assist the investigation. At the same time, the police made a harrowing discovery. A moped glove had been found in the barn opposite the cafe. It was confirmed to be Lisa's. This was the same barn that had been searched by the police and the search dogs the nights before. Strangely though, Nothing had been found during those initial searches. The glove had been handed in to the police by the landlord of the Blomberg estates. He said that it had been found by farm workers who had gone into the barn to begin their work that morning. Unfortunately, the chain of custody for the glove was not entirely reliable. This essentially invalidated any forensic evidence that could have been taken from it, but the discovery of the glove changed the course of the investigation. The investigation was consequently upgraded. This allowed authorities to make use of all resources available to them. This meant more officers, larger search parties, and more manpower. Officers established a command center at Kelby Sports Ground near the cafe, and quickly more traces of Lisa were discovered. A few hundred meters south, officers found what appeared to be the contents of her pockets: a mobile phone case, 2 old receipts, a used metro ticket, and a smashed mobile phone screen. With some solid progress finally coming, all the items were identified as Lisa's by her parents. These items were found on a small gravel road off the beaten track. If you weren't a local, you probably wouldn't even know that the path existed. The discovery of the smashed mobile phone confirmed the police's worst fears. One of the first ports of call was to trace the teenager's movements using her cell phone, but when they triangulated her phone on a day of her disappearance, they reached her dead end. Lisa's last known location was at the cafe, but there was no activity after she left. This told investigators that she may have been told to switch off her mobile, or more concerningly, it was taken from her so that Takapta could destroy it with a smashed screen. Found things weren't looking too good. Lisa's family, friends, and 2 colleagues were interviewed, but no new leads were found. Lisa was just a normal 17-year-old girl from a small town. There was simply no one that anyone could think of that would want to do her any harm.